So, I am doing this video because in September I actually posted an update in which I said, ask and I shall answer, and it was about, anyone having any kind of AT questions. While I didn't forget about that, and I actually did make a video with 4 other thru hikers to answer all those questions. Well, my theory was all these questions have an answer. However, it depends on who answers that question is what answer you're going to get, because everyone has different opinions on the trail and different experiences and standards, or whatever they think is more important is different from what I think is most important. So I wanted to kind of make it a fair thing by having multiple people to answer those questions. Well, that video ended up being super fucking long, and I couldn't upload it from my phone. It took forever, it drained my battery, and then the Wi-Fi was shitty, and then some other shit happened with Google where it lost all my pictures and videos from a certain time, and I ended up just losing the video. It really pissed me off because we put a lot of effort into it. But anyway, I still wanted to answer those questions as good as I can, and even though you're going to only get my opinion, it's better than nothing, right? So the first question was Bigfoot. Did I see Bigfoot? No, I didn't see Bigfoot. I didn't hear Bigfoot, because Bigfoot doesn't exist. And number 2, how much have you spent? I honestly couldn't tell you a whole sum of how much I have spent, because I didn't go on an actual budget. But I can tell you that if you have $100 or $200 per week for all the expenses, such as resupplying on food, all the equipment that may have failed on you or broken on you, socks or pants, or just to go to a restaurant to have some real food, or I don't know, like hostel cost. You want to sleep in a bed just once a week, well, that's going to cost you $20-25 a bunk. It's also going to cost you money to do your laundry there. It's also going to cost you money to take a shower. I mean, every hostel is different, but eventually it all kind of adds up. I would say if you have $100 at a maximum $200 per week to spend, you're safe on the trail. Let's see. Next question was, what was the biggest challenge on the trail? To just keep on going, even though it really sucks. It was, your feet are in agony, and it takes such a long time for your body to get used to that daily abuse that you're just really spend a lot of time in agony. To push through that pain and just to keep on going, that's pretty hard. The weather is quite challenging. The first month, I believe, was just rain, and it lowers your morale, it lowers your motivation, and to keep on going anyway. And I don't know if people really realize this, but hiking is not that much fun. It really kind of sucks. It really sucks. It hurts. You are out of breath. You sweat like a pig all day, and it's hard. It's really hard. But the environment that you are in, and the things you get to see, and the beauty and peace of it, is what makes it worth to go up that mountain. And the people you meet on the trail are just unbelievably amazing people. It's a total own community and family, and you grow really close to those people. You have experiences with them that you will never forget for the rest of your life, and it's really worth it. It's very much worth it. To me, it was anyway. Okay, next question. Bears. Yes, there are lots of bears in the Appalachians. Me personally, I've seen 15 in the 6 months I've been out there. There are people that have seen more, and there are people that have seen far less. It just depends on where you are at what time, and I don't know. You know, there's people that have seen like 4 rattlesnakes in one day, and I've only seen 1 through the entire trail. It just really depends. In the Shenandoahs, there are so many freaking bears. You can see sometimes up to 4 or 5 just a day. But I even seen 10 bears before I even entered the Shenandoahs. So I actually didn't see that many in the Shenandoahs. I heard more than I seen because they were covered by all the foliage. You would hear them run, or you would hear them flop on the ground from a tree, and then you just hear them crashing through the woods. They're so heavy that you know it's a bear. You can almost feel the ground shaking. Usually when you see bears, they see you and they go, oh shit, it's a human, ah! And then they run and crash through the woods like idiots. They just run through everything. They, like bulldozers, crash through little trees, bushes. They're loud, very loud. Then sometimes the moms and cubs, when you see a mother with cubs, they, in my experience, they haven't run. They just stand there and give you the look of death, like, come here, motherfucker, come on, come any closer and I'll fuck you up. So that's kind of scary. And whenever that happens and you see them with their cubs, you just wanna keep on hiking. Don't make a fuss. Don't get closer. Don't get anywhere in between her and the cubs. Just leave them alone and keep on going. Don't take your cell phone out. Don't try and take pictures of them. Just move on. And there has been a few people that have been charged by mother bears. I have not, thank fucking God. But all these charges that mother bears usually do are fake charges, or what you call elephant charges. You know, they run at you, make you want to shit your pants, and then they stop last minute. I'm glad that didn't happen to me, because that shit is scary. I was most scared of bears during the Smoky Mountains, because the incidences in the Smoky Mountains of how many people or hikers that I knew have gotten their backpacks mauled or their tents shredded by bears was just, it was getting kind of scary. There was just 4 or 5 of them just in that little time I was there, or just of the ones I heard. Actually, coming out of Gatlinburg, the first thing I saw was a lady hiker that came the opposite direction and passed me, and she had a black plastic trash bag hanging over her shoulder, and you know, you can instantly tell something is really wrong. And so I asked her what happened, and she got her backpack mauled by a bear. The bears in the Smokies are protected since they grew up there, and so they don't have that fear of humans as much as other bears do, and they know that humans are a source of food, because they are. We have food in our backpacks and in our tents, and we smell gorgeous, so they go for it. It's easy food, so it is really scary. And I thought the Smokies, the whole time I was pretty scared of them, especially because I was hiking most of them by myself. Next, websites and helpful information. There's whiteblaze.com and I forget. Okay, but there's 2 things. There's 2 books. One is called The Companion, and the other one is called AWOL. The most common one on the trail was AWOL. I personally had The Companion, but they're both excellent books, and there will be everything that you need on the trail, information-wise speaking. It will lead you. It tells you the distances between shelters, the distance between water sources, very important, the elevation that you have to climb. It gives you information for town crossings and towns nearby on those crossings, the layout of the towns, where you can resupply, and it also tells you hostels that are nearby, sometimes give you even prices, and other really important information, such as post office addresses and opening hours, so that you can pick up your bounce boxes or whatnot that you received in the mail. I think that's about it. Then next question, did you ever get used to the day hiker week? What this person is talking about is on the trail, you know, obviously you start smelling very BO-ish. You always sweat, so you always smell like sweat. I smelled a lot like piss because, you know, you take a piss and a little bit of pee goes on your pants, and you take that times 3 days without ever being able to change or wash your pants, and next thing you know, your crotch smells like a 70-year-old UTI. So that was kind of nasty. But what he's talking about is day hikers. Day hikers are people who hike on the trail but aren't through hikers. They're just there for the weekend or something. So they smell still like normal human beings. And when you're a through hiker and you pass those along the trail, you get this huge cloud of intense smell. And it's like a mixture of laundry detergent, shampoo, conditioner, skin lotion, suntan lotion, just about anything that has any scent to it. It hits you like a freight train, and it smells usually pretty amazing. You're like, oh, you smell so good. Oh. So that's what he was talking about. Did I ever get used to that? Sometimes you can smell them for, you know, just a really long distance. They like leave a trail of smell behind them, and it's actually always really nice. Okay, next question. Things you thought you needed but didn't. Again, this is probably everyone else's opinion is different on this one, but shoes, a second pair of shoes. I noticed that a shit ton of people started the trail with a second pair of shoes because, hey, if you really think about it, it's a very smart idea. You get your shoes wet and you have an extra pair to wear. That's a great idea. However, if you have to carry them on your back, not that great of an idea, and you don't really have the room or weight that you can spare to have a second pair of shoes. So you'll have one pair of shoes and that's it. The only other pair of shoes you can carry are like flip-flops or Crocs or whatever, or something super light that you can wear around the campsite or tent site or shelter. Also, like, what I threw away this I had this stupid Survivor fire starter, you know, where you can scratch it off and it sparks and sparks. Really, why the hell would I even need that when we have nowadays lighters and they work just fine? But in my mind I was like, well, what if I don't have a lighter? Didn't need it. Didn't need it once. I played around with it a couple times, but I never needed it. What did I not need at all? I sent extra clothing home. I had an MP3 player I sent home because eventually I just started using my phone for playlists. A huge camera. I sent my huge camera home because it was just fucking big. As much as I love my camera and as much as I wanted to take really good pictures, it just wasn't plausible to have that big of a camera on me all the time. Again, you ask other people, they will tell you other answers, but that was me. Bear spray, mace. Everyone, you would find in random hiker boxes at hostels constantly big old cans of bear pepper spray, and it's because you will never ever use it. I know it's kind of like a nice security blanket to have, but it's a really big can and it's really heavy, so no. Some people thought that I was silly for having a deodorant on me at all times, but it was just a little travel-sized one, and I did use it every single day, and I thought that my pits were not as bad as other people's pits because of that, and it made me feel good, so whatever. I also caught a lot of shit for putting eyeliner on every morning. It made me feel better about myself, so whatever. Next questions. Weight to carry on your back. How much weight? There is this thing that they call ultralight hiker, ultralight backpacker, and then there's your regular backpacker. I would say if you can keep your entire backpack weight, anywhere between 25 to 40 pounds, you're okay. I honestly started my journey with 45 pounds, and sometime in the summer I was able to downsize to something like 35 pounds, but once it started getting colder again, my gear got heavier again, and it was back up to 45 pounds easily. And your weight greatly fluctuates between freshly resupplying and being out of everything. Yeah, it would fluctuate 10 pounds. Also depends on how much water you had to carry and how far your next water source was. Sometimes you have to carry 4 liters, sometimes you have to carry only 1, sometimes, that makes a big difference on weight. But yeah, 35 pounds right in the middle is probably really nice and doable. There were people on the trail that were carrying 60 to 70 pounds, and it was pretty impressive, but I wouldn't recommend it. The top 5 must-haves on the trail. Well, that's simple. First, you need a backpack, otherwise you can't carry shit. Second, you need a water filter so that you can drink, and bottles so you can drink. Then you need food, and you need shelter, and you need something to keep yourself warm with. So, sleeping bag and clothes. Next, how much did you lose on weight? I think it's now I've lost more since I've gotten off trail, because life's been pretty rough and my appetite hasn't been really good, and also I think I've been losing a lot of muscle weight just because I'm not hiking mountains anymore. So now I'm down probably 70 pounds, 75, something like that. Yeah, it's a shit ton of weight. But over 6 months and of just hiking, you can expect to lose a shit ton of weight, especially if you start overweight like I did. And if you're tall like me, then you have more weight to lose. So, but yeah, turned out pretty nice. You get really fit. Your ass looks nice. Like, see, I mean, my legs are pretty nice and tight, and my ass is pretty nice. So can't complain about all of that. That was a nice side effect. Not exactly why I started the trail, but definitely appreciated. What's the hardest thing about coming home? Well, everyone is different and everyone's home is different, but mine turned out to be an absolute disaster. My husband and I are separated, and you kind of find yourself in society as a lost little puppy, and you don't really know what to do. I need to start finding jobs and make money and figure out where I'm going to live, and it's all quite overwhelming on top of that whole separation thing and being not in the woods anymore. On my way here, I was sleeping in a motel, and there was a smoke detector on the ceiling, and it had this orange light on it. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw this orange light hovering above me, and I'm thinking, why is there an orange light in the trees? I don't understand. Why is there an orange light in the trees? And I even called for England. It's like, England, what the fuck is that? There's something in the trees. Is that like some bug? What is it? And it took me forever to realize that I wasn't in the woods. I was in a room, and there was a ceiling, and there's a fire detector. A smoke detector, and it's different. But I'll manage. Shit will get better eventually. Eventually.